and welcome back to Project Life Weekly. I started out last month sharing, putting together January. So in February, you can see all the process videos for all of these pieces. You will notice that my journaling is not done. We are right at the end of February when I'm filming this, like the very last week of February. Some of my journaling is done. I do have some pieces in here, but I have definitely some spots that need journaling. My last video, I think probably last week or the week before, I shared that my journaling wasn't done and I had this spread left to finish. I did end up cutting that page protector down for the, not postcards. These are not postcards. These are business cards. For this, I like this much better. This was much more my vision. I just wish I would have had like another row and just 3x4 and then some of the other business cards from our life, but that worked out fine. I like it much better than what it was. And then my calendar is finished. And then you can see, again, journaling needs to happen in a couple of these places, but that is January. So in my very last video, I mentioned that I really wasn't happy overall with how January came out. It just was not the vision that I had. It just did not come together the way I had originally anticipated. Now, it's fine. It's totally fine. And every single spread that you do, every single layout, every single pocket thing that you do doesn't have to be perfect. And that is definitely something that I have had to learn over the last few years, probably the last 5 to 6 years, is that every single thing doesn't have to be perfect. Having it done is definitely better than perfect. Being able to continue on in your project and get these albums done, you know, in a reasonable amount of time for yourself, is more important than every single thing looking perfect. So with that said, it still bothers me. Like I'm just still like, this didn't come out how I wanted. And as I flip through it, it just bothers me a little bit, right? So what I want to do right at the beginning of a new month is I want to jump in and I want to set up my February, and I just want to move on because I mean, I will still do my journaling. That is something that I still will do. I will still finish this last layout. Those are very minor things. But I have learned that if I continue to dwell on something that is not exactly the way I like it, I'm just going to end up tearing it apart and redoing it. And there's no reason that needs to happen. That is really very pointless to do that. The first thing is, you know, it's wasteful, and it's not that horrible. It's not like it's totally bad. It just is not the vision that I had. So if I dwell on that, it's just going to put me further behind. I'm going to end up ripping it all apart and redoing it, and that's unnecessary. And the best thing that I can do is just go forward and set up February. And what I'm going to use for February is my favorite Project Life kit of all times. It is the Clementine core kit. So I have my box over here, and I am going to use the Clementine core kit. It looks like, let me pull some of this out. So in this box, I have another kit in here too. So I have Clementine is here and here. And then this is Jade, and I have several I think I have like 4 kits of the Jade kit. And then this is a different kit. I don't know what kit this is, but it is a different kit that I forgot I had. So I am going to do Clementine, and this is my all-time favorite kit. And I promise that once I start putting together my Clementine kit, my layout here for February. I can promise I will start to feel amazing, and it'll come together so easy. And that's really what I want this month for February is I just want to feel really good. I don't want to have to do like a lot of thinking because I just want to feel that motivation again. And then my January layouts, they won't even matter. I mean, they will matter, but they won't matter in the way of me feeling like I need to redo anything or change anything. Okay, so so let's dive in and get right to it. The first thing I always do, my first step, in my system is to set up my main layout. Now, I'm a really big believer that even if this was all you did, if you just did a double-sided layout where you had a title card that said February 2025, and then you picked 8 to 10 photos to go in here to represent your month, at the end of the year, you would have an entire year of an album that you could look back on and see pieces of your life. And you could probably get more than 1 year if you did that. In fact, I know you can because that's how I do my kids' albums. And I can get 2 to 3 years into one album, which is nice if you are trying to conserve space. So the first thing that I do, we are at the end of the month where I can look back through my photos and get a sense of what extra things I need in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through my camera roll, figure out what exactly, what stories I'm going to be telling in February. And then I will pull in some other page protectors. And then we will take the Clementine kit and we will get the majority of our month set up. So then that the next thing we can do is work on dropping photos in, work on inserts, and then work on embellishing and journaling. So let's do that first. I'm going to go through my camera roll, do all of my editing, clean it up, figure out what stories I have, and grab page protectors, and then we'll dive into setting up. Okay, so that first step, going through my camera roll, deleting all of the things, and then I also opened up my Project Life app and picked a 4x6 canvas that had 2 3x4s, so you could put 2 3x4s on each side. And any of the 3x4 photos, any photos that I knew I wanted to print at 3x4, I put them into that canvas and then saved them to my camera roll. So basically I just did all of my edits. It took me about 15 minutes. So I'm pretty good about at least once a week going through and deleting all of the extra things on my camera roll. This is something that I really suggest that you do. Hi everybody, I'm jumping into voiceover mode because we're 8 minutes in and I'm still yapping my mouth and we're not diving into creating. And so I'm just going to try to explain what I was doing. Right here I'm just talking about doing my deleting all the stuff I don't need, editing all of the things on my phone. I do that all at the same time. So instead of trying to edit a photo here and then edit a photo there, I don't do a ton of editing. I just have Pick Tap Go, which I use through the Project Life app, and then I also have that application on my phone. So I just go in and there's sometimes a photo or two that I need to do a little editing to, or if I need to put 2 photos on one 4x6 canvas so I can print them at 3x4, I do that. So I'll be using this Clementine kit. You saw the paper that I have right here. I don't have a lot of it. There's certain patterns I don't have a lot of because I've used it. And then the other thing that I am able to do when I go back and I do those few edits and delete the things that I don't want, I can get a sense of which page protectors I want to be using since I do Project Life monthly. So this first one is a 6x8, and on the back side is going to be some funny texts from Kayla, and then the front side will be a story. This is something that I want to do. This is a 6x12 page protector, and it says history, and then it says /currently. And so I feel like there's a lot of things that's going on, particularly here in the US, that's pretty historical things that are happening. And I feel like there's so much going on. I was thinking that I wanted to somehow do a currently happening. And I do have some digital like pocketed cards that are coming out over the next couple months where I did a set where I'm thinking about using them. I haven't really thought through this part yet, so I don't exactly know how it's going to work, but I would like something every month, even maybe if it's just some journaling with some bullet points of some things that are happening that are worth noting. So I don't know if you have any ideas for that. Leave them in the comments below. And I'm trying to figure out how to get more of like our everyday things that are happening into our album. The next page protector that I have is for a event that my husband and I went to see the weather guy from our old news station. He retired. He does a YouTube thing now, and he does photography, and we got to go hear him speak, and I got to meet him. I was very excited about it. We spent the day out. It was very nice. So on that one side of the 9x12, I will have that event, and I'll do those in 3x4. And then on the flip side of that, the back side of that, is a spot for some more everyday photos, because I just was feeling like looking at all my photos, I had like just a lot of everyday kind of random photos, which I love. It's something that I'm trying to do more, just snap photos of all of the different things that are happening. So that backside will be for those everyday photos. And then I do think that I will have one other page protector in February of just something that I didn't realize as I, again, just scanned my photos and was trying to get a sense of where I was at. So I will probably add that. The other thing that you will see eventually in February is my Simply Crafted pages that I do, like the pages that I do without photos. It is something that I do within my membership community. I created 2 layouts using this paper right here that you see on the screen. So instead of using a kit like I normally do, I used this paper and I used all of the things that I was going to use in February, and I created 2 traditional style layouts with the intention of using them in February. So you will definitely see at least one of those layouts showing up in February. I don't know if I'll need both double-sided layouts, but definitely one of the traditional style layouts will end up in February. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in to getting February all situated. The first thing I'll do is add some paper for the calendar. So that's just 8.5 by 11 paper that I will cut down and put behind the calendar. I can also trim down my calendar and have a pattern paper border if I want. I think I will do that to this calendar, and then that way the backside can be some pattern paper and I will have a pocket. So as you can probably tell, this is getting uploaded on Friday the 7th, and I am so fully behind in all of the ways with content here on my YouTube page, getting my blog posts written, and then I am uploading a ton this weekend. I have like 3 videos for my membership here on YouTube that I will be uploading. I have so much footage. I just have not been in here to edit. Every time that I've popped down here to be here, I have been crafting, and I just turn on my camera and I film while I'm doing it. And that's one of the reasons I jumped into voiceover mode, because now that I'm so far behind, some things aren't relevant of what I was talking about when I was just crafting and having my camera on. So I apologize that things are so far behind with getting content posted. A lot has just been happening in our household. The kids have needed some things. Kayla came home from school one day this week, so that day that I was planning on working, I ended up being on mom duty, and I've been in the car so much. In our membership, every single month we have a photo challenge, and it's just a topic that I say, hey, let's focus on this topic this month. And it's so funny because this month I've pre-picked the topics for like 4 to 6 months ahead. And I had already picked this topic at the beginning of January, which was driving. And it turns out that that's a really good one for this month because I have been in the car so much. And that is getting ready to change soon. Kayla is taking her driving test for, to actually get her license next month. And so I am in that space of being really sad that like the time of me running her all over is coming to a close because she'll be able to just drive herself. So I feel sad about that, but then also feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of being in this car and I need some help driving people around. And having 3 kids and getting them to all of the places it can sometimes be a lot. And so I'm ready to have some help, but also it's kind of sad. So here this stupid adhesive thing. I hate these adhesives, but I have so many of them. I'm trying not to be wasteful and I'm trying to use them, but I absolutely hate them. And you're going to see I get so frustrated with this. I just like rip it apart and I'm like, I'm done. I'm using something else. Like I'm done. So I grabbed my ATG gun and then I just did a refill on that one. And as soon as those are done, as soon as I get through all of my refills for those, I won't be purchasing that adhesive again. I actually do just prefer my ATG gun. So I added the polka dots to a white card at the top there because the polka dots was not big enough to do a full 4x6. And then here you can see I've dropped everything in. So I have that title card. I have a chipboard piece that says February, it's like February memories or something, or February something. And then I did cards in the middle there. I have a couple sticky notes of some different things that are going to go there. And I will, at the end of this video, you'll see me drop in my February photos. I'm just trying to get to a place with this video where I can start fresh again. And I can share all the footage that I've gotten over the last couple weeks with you. And then next Tuesday, when I upload my Project Life Weekly video, we'll be jumping in to the February inserts and I'll be in a better place. It has been really crazy. So I dropped in all of the 3x4 cards into the middle, and then I have a couple post-it notes of where things are going to go, or I have a couple screenshots on my phone that I realized I would need to trim down and put in specific places. So I tried to add sticky notes to those places. I really like my post-it notes and it's really helpful when I'm working this way. And then so I was able to get all of those in and also get my photos printed. So here in just a minute, you're going to see I have a bunch of my photos printed. I think I have all of my February photos printed, and then I'll drop them in. I also did all of the minor work, putting my dash lines all around everything, trimming stuff down so that they're not rounded corners. And then I have this little tub here, this little container, and it has all of the things that I am using for February and already working it with these products, with the Clementine core kit, and then all of the stuff that I pulled out to be able to use with February has already made me feel so much better about my album. And even though I am not all that happy with January and the way January turned out, going into February and being so happy with February and feeling like it's coming together better has just eased my mind about January, and I don't need to worry about it as much, or think about it. And January's done. I completed all of my journaling. I finished up that one layout. So January is officially finished. Okay, so here I got my photos. I print at my local Walmart. They have a 1 hour. Now, I always say this, but I'll say it again as a reminder. You really have to figure out where your photo printing is going to be the best. I used to use Walgreens when my husband worked in a different area, and he would pick up my photos every Friday night. I would upload my photos on Friday morning, and then on Friday night when he would be heading home, he'd pick up my photos. And I loved it. The Walgreens was amazing. amazing. The quality was great. I was able to get matte photos, and they did not leave the photos in the machine, so they didn't get warped. And so it was perfect. When he stopped working there, the Walgreens that I then started using was crappy. I couldn't get matte photos. They would leave the photos in the machine and they would get warped, and there would be fingerprints all over them. That just wasn't great. But Walmart, my 1 hour Walmart photo center is amazing, and I can get my matte photos. They're really great. They don't leave the photos in the machine. They handle them properly. I've like gotten to know the guy now, so he just knows me. And so you have to pick the place if you're going to send them out. You just have to pick the place that is best for you. I would prefer like to be able to do like Snapfish, which is great quality and cheaper, but I don't want to have to wait weeks and weeks to get my photos. I want them right now. When I upload them, I want them now. And then I do print some from home. So especially if I want to, like if I need extra things, I'll just print from home. But otherwise, I send them out. So I picked them up at Walmart, and then you're seeing that I am dropping them in. So here is a perfect example of a screenshot. Now, this isn't this one that I'm trimming down is not the one that's going to end up going into this particular spot because I was trimming the wrong one down, but it's the same concept. I screenshot something from Instagram. I put it into a 3x4 canvas on a 4x6 photo, and then I want it on this card. So you can see that's a journaling card that I've trimmed down, and then I've layered onto a white piece of cardstock, and then I want to layer this onto that spot. So I'm trimming it really gently because I want it to be a little bit smaller and fit within that, like the box that creates. So instead of doing handwriting journaling, it will be this screenshot. Now again, this is not the one that's going to go there. That's what's happening right now as I'm reading it, and I'm like, oops, this is not the one. But the one that I want to go there is very similar. It has a black background and it will fit there. So I'll just trim the other one down. So here's all of my 3x4 photos. So you can see that I went ahead and trimmed down all of my 3x4, or I didn't trim them down. I put them together so that I could print them all together. And that is helpful for me. So here's the other one that is actually going to go there. And for some reason, I don't know what this is. I've learned over the years of doing memory keeping, sometimes you flow in and out of things that you like or that you don't like. And I am in a space right now where I am starting to really love 3x4 photos. And I've never really loved them before. Like, they're fine. I use the slots. I, use the page protectors. It's totally fine. But I am really finding that I'm loving printing. It's like you can get so many more photos when you do them 3x4. You use these 3x4 configurations for these page protectors. It makes it so nice. So over the next few months, you're probably going to start to see more 3x4 photos pop up, and that's just because I'm leaning into it. The best thing that you can do is, if you're excited about something or you're loving something, is lean into it and do it. And it doesn't matter if you do it all of the time or you have page after page where you've done the same thing. It's like, it's what I always say about embellishments. If you love hearts, use them all over the place. If you love stars, use them all over the place. There are no rules for memory keeping. You will see that I have a couple spots in here. I'm doing my journaling differently in February and in March currently. And you see that I have a couple cards that are already in there with journaling, and I'm sure I will talk about that more when we do journaling at the end of March. I will share more of that. So I just dropped these photos into the correct spot, and next week when I get back into this album and I'm sharing, you will see how I set up all of the pages and how I got all of my February photos in, and then we'll start working through each of the inserts. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Here on the screen are 2 other videos that you can check out if you would like. If you remember watching this video and you've missed any of the member videos, or you're new, you can go back and watch older member videos if you would like. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and I will catch you in my very next project.